You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by demetrius-reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius-Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another incredible episode of Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Deanie. We have a very special guest for you guys, so you definitely want to stick around for that. And as a matter of fact, text your buddies, family members, or even share it on social media right now and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. Before I bring my guest on, I do want to say that many of your distractions are there because you think you need them, right? But quiet your thoughts and those distractions will go away. For most people, not for me right away. I think like 1,000 ideas as soon as I try to meditate. I don't know what's wrong, but anyway, I'm doing it wrong. Anyway, let go of those worries and surrender those doubts that only serve to clutter your awareness. If you silence the chatter of your thoughts for a while and experience the joy of simply being who you are, quiet your mind, and suddenly the distractions which seem so overwhelming feel like they're a million miles away. Sink deeper into the awareness of being here in this moment and leave behind the worries, the fears, and the doubts. Step back from the turmoil of your frenzied thoughts and in the quiet stillness, focus your awareness on what is truly important to you. Experience the clarity of perspective that serenity can bring. And sometimes it's beyond thinking and beyond worrying and wondering and judging, analyzing, tap this, tap that, agonizing. It's a powerful and refreshing, energizing place. So experience the value that serenity can bring. Take that from me, Coach Deanie. That is my word, and word is bond.
Access, a minority-run nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting survivors of domestic violence and sexual abuse. Our prevention division educates the public on healthy relationships, consent, and boundaries, while our recovery division provides support and resources after trauma. We offer workshops and coaching to individuals worldwide, helping them navigate complex issues and reclaim their power. We believe in the power of education and conversation. Our interdisciplinary approach challenges societal norms and empowers individuals to live authentically and purposefully. With the guidance of our accredited coaches, you can overcome obstacles, achieve your goals, and create the future you desire. Don't wait to take control of your life and your sexuality. Visit our website, Sexess.org, to learn more about our services and how you can get involved.
All right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL. That's Vigilantes Radio Live right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Deanie. Our interviews are designed to go beyond music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even past that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings. The ones who were out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Well, in a genre where the rhythm of the heart meets the pulse of the streets, Frankie 503 emerges as a beacon of innovation and cultural pride. With El NIÑo P03TA, he weaves a tapestry of love, loss, and poetic expression, rooted in the vibrant landscapes of Central America, from the pews of his mother's church to the forefront of reggaeton scene. Frankie's journey is a testament to the power of heritage, of passion, and relentless creativity. So tonight, we're going to dive into the soul of his music. So prepare to be captivated by the story of a young artist determined to bring his culture's voice to the world stage. And with that, let's welcome Frankie 503 to the show. Yo, 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 what is up? What is up? Welcome.
How's it going, Deanie? How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. Just had a long day of work, but, you know, we're out here, as always.
Yes, sir, man. Working around the clock, huh? Like a true artist.
Yeah, man. Got to grind all the time, even when it's not music. I gotta make sure I'm working. Got to keep my mind busy.
How do you separate the two, you know, when you're working and then your mind is also working, like writing music or thinking of some concept for promotion or, you know, things like that?
Yeah, well, honestly, I'm pretty bad at separating the work from music. Like, when I'm at work, I'm always thinking about music, because music to me, I want to make it my career. That's what I've been doing since I was a little boy, you know, so I see it like, now I've realized it's like a business. It's like work, you know, so whenever I am at work, I'm also working on that. Like, my mind is thinking of, like you said, how I'm going to promote it or what I'm going to write next. If my job also allows me to, usually if it's like quiet that day and there's like not much to do, I'll bring a pair of headphones in and have a piece of paper and a pen, and then I'll just start writing, you know, because that's the main thing that I love doing, writing songs, writing words.
Dope, man. Speaking of writing words, we're going to talk about your album, which is a collection of a lot of words, your words in particular. During the making of this album, Frankie, did anything in your life, did anything happen during the making of this album that made it onto the album?
Say that last part again, that made it what?
I said, was there anything that happened in your life while you were making this album that made it onto the album? You know, it turned into a song, that experience, a situation.
Yeah, that whole album is actual experiences, like from song 1 to the end of the song. I like to keep my writing that way. Although, let me not say that, because there is one song on there that I made kind of just throughout my imagination, which is Yonsei, which is just a song that's talking about like a girl, it's talking about girls or even boys that are insecure in themselves, the way that they look and everything, and basically kind of pushing that, like, there's no need to be insecure or be afraid of who you are. That's one of the songs that's on there. But stuff that happened really in my life, honestly, every song except that one, I'd say something happened and it caused me to write, because that's how I like writing.
Wow. So what period of time is this that you're writing about, or that you're writing in?
When I wrote it, when I started writing it, it's honestly started off as one song. Like, I wanted to write one song in the genre, because my family's from El Salvador, you know, and I listened to a lot of it growing up. And I always wanted to try it. I just wanted to do it right. And it started last year in 2023, I'd say. In about March, April, I wrote the first song, which was actually the second song on the album. It's called Delicat. I wrote that one at work. I was at work with a piece of paper and pen, and I was thinking about this relationship that I was at the time in. And I wanted to express myself, because there was a lot of stuff going on in this relationship. You know, that relationship taught me a lot, which I'm very grateful for. But yeah, that song, Delicat, it was the start of it, which was in March. And then after a certain period of time, I realized that I wanted to keep writing in that style. Like, it was something that came more natural than what I had been doing before, because I was in multiple groups before with different people from around here in Nova. One of them named The Rear View, you know, this is the last band that I had. But I realized that I was really comfortable with writing in Spanish in like a urban or like a pop kind of sense. So after like March, April, I would sit down and then just try to write like every day, as much whatever it came to, if it was a song or if it wasn't a song, if it was a line or if it was a word. I just started it then. And then at a time as well, this old contact that I had, or not contact, really good friend, Ben Bossarak, which is the guy that helped me make this whole album. We used to work together, and he ended up leaving where we worked at, and I hadn't spoken to him in a while. And I remember him talking to me about recording, because he loved recording and everything. So I hit him up, and I was like, hey, man, I'm trying to do this, like, because he's also really good at just, like, the pop production, everything compared to what I was doing prior. He's fantastic at it. And he was the first guy that came to mind, and he's also a great friend of mine. So it all kind of just started around March, April, and then we just went forward from there.
That's dope. So writing one song turned into an entire project with the help of Ben coming on board with production. And this was the first time that you did this in this style of genre. Is that correct?
Yeah, I had been doing, like I said, I had been in groups prior. When I first started, I was a very young boy. I was like 6, 7, and I always wanted to do like my solo stuff, and I was so solo. And when I was around, I think it was 17 or so, I was like asked to be in this one band with a few friends of mine. So I joined the band. It didn't go as like kind of how I wanted it to, because when you're in a band compared to when you're in a solo thing, it's a whole different thing, because you can control the whole thing when you're by yourself compared to being in a group setting. Then there's a lot of different ideas going around and stuff, and some of your ideas don't make it on. But it started off with one song, and it was the first time that I had tried to write in that type of style. And I really enjoy it. I still do till now. I'm still writing, so yeah.
Okay. How was that transition, man, from like group to solo act? You have a bunch of cooks in the kitchen to you being the only chef with the recipe.
Honestly, at the beginning, it was it started because like the group that I was in, this last group that I was in, I started seeing kind of some things slow down with like writing or maybe even getting a show and everything. And I'm the type of person that I've been doing music for a long time, and I promised myself when I was a little boy that nothing would stop me from doing that, even if it wasn't like me going out to play to 1 billion people. I wanted to make sure that I kept writing and I kept growing musically, and I kept pushing myself as much as I could. And I kind of realized that was going on in the group, that it was kind of slowing down. So I was like, you know what, this is the point where either this is, music is going to be, oh yeah, he just did that, for a really long time, and then he kind of just slowed down, or this is the point where you keep pushing, kind of like when you're at the gym working out type thing, and you're trying to get those last few reps in to make sure that you're actually growing. That's the important thing to me. So I took the step, and I was like, I'm going to try to focus on what's on my head, and it was hard at the start, because when I was with the band, I was able to, ask somebody, hey, what's your opinion about this? Or what do you think about that? And they'd give me their opinion, and I would, based off of that, take it one way or I'd take it the other. And then when it's just yourself, you kind of, you feel like you have to like learn more about people, But what I started doing was I started talking to my, I've always talked to my father, and everything, but I started talking to my dad about music, which is not something that I had done like prior. He knew that I always did music and all that, but I would bring up, hey, what do you think of this kind of idea for a song? And then he'd tell me, well, you're the writer, so what's it going to be like? And then I started writing, and then that's how the album, most of that album, I'd say about, actually, I'm not going to lie, I think 100% of that album went through my father's ears, and then like I was like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Like that's cool. All right, that's cool. And then some of the songs didn't make it on the album, obviously, but the ones that we both kind of agreed in that sense are on there.
Man, that's really dope that your father was able to help with that. it's like your life has been like surrounded in music from early age, growing up in church, being a part of the church choir, which begs me to answer, like, with that experience, being in a church setting, in the choir and everything, learning about the different tones, melodies, is there anything from those early days that still stick with you today that you use when you create?
Absolutely. I mean, to me, God, Jesus Christ will always be the Savior. He's the reason we're here. He saved everyone. He's perfect. That's what I try to follow. I'm not the best at it. So whenever I sit down and I write, when it comes to the process, before I write, not always, good amount of time I like to do a little prayer so I can try to make sure that the words that come out of me are something that matters, something that's going to impact people the right way, not just me sitting down and writing just because, I want it to sound cool. Like, I wanted to actually move somebody. And in that sense, it's very much influenced my writing. Like, I always, even in in a couple of the songs that I have, one of the lines is, my mom calls me and tells me, hey, it's in Spanish, obviously, me llama mi mamá, me dice, hijo, arrepiéntete que todavía no es tarde, which in English translates to, son, you should really repent because it's not too late yet. Because my mother is a very religious woman, and she's always on my mind about, make sure you're doing this correct in God's eyes. And I've grown up to be that type of man. I want my kids to be that way too. I'm nowhere near where I need to be in that sense at all, not close at all. But it does affect my writing in that, there will be lines in there, it'll bring that in, still, just because, that's where I started, and I would never let go of anything like that, and I pray that no one lets go of him,
Amen, amen. Hey, man, shout out to your mother, because the older I get, man, I've heard it before, what you're taught, you kind of don't, you could go away from it for a while, but you eventually come back to it, and especially in gospel. Especially in gospel.
Yeah, I remember, in music too, I know it happens to, I'm pretty sure it happens to a lot of musicians, or a lot of artists, I'd say, where there's a point where you kind of feel a little bit alone whenever you're doing something, even if you're in a group setting, you feel a little alone because, a lot of the majority of the world, watches artists, they're not the artist. So when it comes to that, it's hard to kind of understand other people. So then you start getting into the wrong stuff. You start getting into the wrong things, and that can push you away from a thing like gospel, from a thing like God, things that your parents will teach you when you're young. This is the truth. It's been around forever. My grandparents showed me this, and you're going to stick to this, and this is how it's going to be. And then, obviously, like I said, being an artist and everything, it'll be hard sometimes feeling lonely. And when you feel lonely, that's when the enemy likes to get you a lot, That's when he's like, okay, I'm going to come in and I'm going to make him do this. So then he forgets about this, and now I got him exactly where I want him. So it can be hard, when, especially for artists, I think, or even whenever you're doing something that's against any sort of odd, against a big amount of people or something.
Yeah, man. Frankie, it's funny that you say that, especially in the hip-hop industry. For some reason, the message about you could do this by yourself or by you're lonely or you don't need anyone has been the mainstay message in mainstream hip-hop. When that you and I know for a fact, when you're alone is when you are the most vulnerable.
Absolutely, yeah.
You'll pretty much side with anybody, and you're pretty much vulnerable to any attack, so it's just funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah, man, hip-hop, pop, that's a pop, right, in general, is what's popular now, it has been, back in the days, the Beatles considered pop, so people will start, especially when you're in such a, high place, hip-hop artists or, pop artists are, it's easy to, get guided or take the wrong advice from the wrong people just because you're up there and you're kind of alone, like we were talking about. When you're alone, it's a lot harder.
Absolutely. So, man, before we keep going deeper, man, before people are like, oh, man, they're preaching now, hey, don't run, you'll get tired of running, so don't run. Anyway, I had a question from one of our listeners for you. They want to know what is your obsession, or what is your infatuation with the number 3, or this alphanumeric substitutions in your song titles?
Yeah, so the 503, so all of anything that's, the 503 is the area code from my country, El Salvador. Shout out El Salvador. Que viva El Salvador. I got a lot of family over there. 503 is the area code over there, so anything that has an S in my songs is a 5. Anything that has an O is a 0 with a dash through it, or just a 0. And then anything that has an E is a 3. So it just fills up that 503. I wanted it to be unique. I wanted it, when you saw it, you were like, that's Frankie 503 song, just because of the way that the words are spelled, you know?
All right. There you go. So if you would be so kind to introduce the single that we're playing tonight.
Yes. So the single we're going to be playing tonight is going to be B to L, which is the first track on my album. It was I want to say the second or third song that I wrote. It's got a girl at the start of the song. It's a fun little song. It's about the start of a relationship. So if you're like in the start of a relationship or anything like that right now, the honeymoon kind of stage where everything's kind of sweet, that's what this song kind of captures, you know?
All right. Here it go. Stay tuned.
Frankie 503 con Ben. Al amanecer yo me echo una tacita de cafecito y las pupusas que sobraron de ayer, dándole gracias a Dios por despertarme. Yo no tengo mansión ni soy millonario, comparto un apartamento y un cuarto. Yo sé que no es mucho, pero eso es lo que tengo. Pero yo cojo un tren por ti, mami, yo hackeo un vuelo por ti. Yo me tomo un carro nuevo solo por ti. Y si faltan barcos, pues me robo un jet ski. Yo cojo un tren por ti, mami, yo hackeo un vuelo por ti. Yo me tomo un carro nuevo solo por ti. Y si faltan barcos, pues me robo un jet ski. Trabajando todos los días en el Pentágono, pero no soy oficial, soy vendedor de lentes de sol. Así es que hago mi pisto, pero prometo que me voy rebuscando. Unos dicen que yo ocupo un milagro, que llevo años solo soñando, mas no saben lo que yo voy creando, visualizando en la palma de mi mano. Pero desde que te conocí, quiero contártelo a ti, quiero hacerte sonreír, porque sé que ser parte de ser un buen hombre. Solo me imagino estar contigo toda la noche. Ocupamos una toalla para hacerlo en la playa. A mi ser bikini te lo quiero quitar. Esa cosita yo la quiero probar, pero dame con calma que me puedo desmayar. Cojo un tren por ti, mami, yo hackeo un vuelo por ti. Yo me tomo un carro nuevo solo por ti. Y si faltan barcos, pues me robo un jet ski. Yo cojo un tren por ti, mami, yo hackeo un vuelo por ti. Yo me tomo un carro nuevo solo por ti. Y si faltan barcos, pues me robo un jet ski. It's funny how things intertwine, like how you fell into my life. I'm trying to read between the lines of these feelings I cannot hide. I think I'm losing my fucking mind, cause I talked to you like one time. Caroline, I hope that I'm not coming on too strong, but I really wanna make you mine. One day I'ma make you mine, and I'ma give it all to you. Baby girl, you know I do it all for you. I'll be cooking in the kitchen for you. Yeah, you know I'm washing dishes for you. All for you. Yeah, you know I'll give it all up for you. But as long as the sky is blue, I'll give it all to you. Niño poeta, yeah. Niño poeta, na na na.
The secret to smart wealth is not just a great idea, but ongoing royalties from that idea. Imagine getting regular income from a song or movie, a fashion idea, or even a popular trademark. That's the breakthrough concept of the Royalties LLC app, an intellectual investing properties platform which allows you to invest in intellectual properties. Say goodbye to old school investing and say hello to passive income you can rely on. When you invest in intellectual properties owned by Royalties app, you will receive guaranteed monthly royalties for the term of their contract. Managing and selecting your royalty choices is fast and fun. For example, when you invest in music royalties, every time someone plays the song, whether it's a grocery store or a person streaming it, you earn a small payout called a royalty. Let your intuition and passions guide you to regular guaranteed monthly passive income. Visit royaltiespassiveincome.cash or search Royalties LLC and download on the Apple App Store or Android Play Store.
All right. Welcome back, guys. That was Frankie 503 with his song, Jet Ski. I think we had the wrong track, but that one is dope, too. It's called Jet Ski. All right,
yeah,
man.
I don't know if you could hear me yet, but I thought that it was going to be V to L, but hey, man, that one's also about the honeymoon stage, too. That's in the middle of the album. That one's Jet Ski, so that's cool, too. I like that one.
Absolutely, man. Have you had a chance to perform it yet?
Not yet. So, I'm getting together, I have to get the guy that helped me produce the song, or not the song, the whole album, Ben Balsarak. I have to get some live tracks kind of situated and everything to make sure that when it's live, it sounds proper and everything. So I haven't yet, but soon, very soon.
All right. Oh, man, where can our listeners connect with you online?
Well, I'm on everything. Instagram, it's Frankie503. It's Frankie50, like an actual O, not the 0 or the weird little symbol, an actual O from the alphabet. 3, Frankie503, or on TikTok, it's the same thing, Frankie503. And then on TikTok, it's with an actual 0. Some of these sites don't let me do the same thing, which is kind of irritating, but it's fine. I understand. But Instagram, Frankie503. TikTok, Frankie503. I actually just made an X account or a Twitter account. Same thing, Frankie503. If you can't find it with the 0, it's an actual O on all of them. I'll just tell you that. Those are the 3 things that I'm mainly on. You can also see it on or catch anything that I do on YouTube. It's always going to be on YouTube because that's the main thing. And yeah, those 4 things.
All right, and listeners, just in case you didn't get those links, no worries. I will have them in the description of this episode and in the show notes. So all you guys have to do is just click those links. So as we wrap up our journey with Frankie 503, it's clear that his music is more than just a collection of songs. It's a celebration of heritage, a diary of the heart, and a beacon for aspiring artists everywhere. Frankie, thank you so much for sharing your passion, your stories, your vision with us. And to our listeners, let Frankie's music inspire you to explore new sounds, embrace your roots, and follow your own poetic path. So be sure to follow Frankie 503 on all social media and streaming platforms to experience the vibrant world of El Niño Poeta. And stay tuned for what's next on his incredible musical journey. And until next time, keep dancing, keep dreaming, and keep discovering the music that moves you. Thank you so much, Frankie.
Thank you. Have a good day, man. God bless.
You too, man.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/only1media group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is onlyonemediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius-Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.
What's up, guys? It's Dini, and I want to welcome you on a journey of the heart and of the mind. These Fucking Feelings podcast is a beacon in the world of mental health advocacy, and it invites you to join a conversation that's changing lives. We are here to share, listen, and grow together. Led by the passionate Michael Bravery, alongside the insightful Rebecca and Crystal. This award-winning podcast dives deep into the human experience, from navigating relationships to coping with loss. No topic is off limits. It's about real stories and real emotions. These Fucking Feelings is more than just a show. It's a community, a place where vulnerable isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. You can find it across major platforms, including YouTube and Facebook Watch. This podcast is a touchstone for anyone seeking understanding and support. These Fucking Feelings podcast, where every emotion is valid and every story matters. Tune in and transform the way you see mental health.